Welcome to 21st Sports 2015 Season Preview for the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to go over the roster and we're going to go over the season schedule and make predictions for every single game. Let's start off with the roster. In under center, Andy Dalton is back. He's led the Bengals to the playoffs every year, and he's going to do it again this year. And at running back, he has Jeremy Hill. Jeremy Hill had the most rushing yards in the second half of the season last year, and I think he's going to run for 2,000 yards this year. And then at receiver, you got A.J. Green. Just signed a big contract. He's one of the best receivers in all of football. And they also have Mohamed Sanu, and of course Marvin Jones and Brandon Tate as well, as they are stacked receiver. And then at tight end, Tyler Eifert. They have Ryan Hewitt as well. So the Bengals are very consistent on offense. This is an offense that has been together. And now Jeremy Hill, he was a rookie last year. It's his second season. He is the piece of the puzzle that they were missing to take it to the next level. And then on defense, they made a big addition, bringing in A.J. Hawk and the return of Michael Johnson. This is already a really tough defense, and they're going to be even tougher this year. And at defensive end, you got Carlos Dunlap, and on the other side, the returning Michael Johnson. And then in the middle there, at defensive tackle, Geno Atkins, and nose tackle, Domata Pico. And then at linebacker, you got on the strong side, A.J. Hawk, on the weak side, Vontaze Burfict, and then in the middle, Ray Maluga. And that's one of the best linebacking cores in all of football, in my opinion. They've also got some depth there as well. And then at corner, you got Dre Kirkpatrick and Pac-Man Jones, Adam Jones. And a strong safety, George Oka, and at free safety, Reggie Nelson. And I apologize for butchering that name a moment ago. But it's a very solid defense from top to bottom, up front, in the middle, and in the secondary, all throughout. I like their defense quite a bit, and I like their offense. This is why I got the Bengals going very far this season. So I believe they really are a potential Super Bowl team. But at kicker, of course, we have Mike Nugent, and at punter, Kevin Hobart. And the punt returning is Adam Pac-Man Jones, and the kick returner, Brandon Tate. And Adam Jones also helps out in those duties as well, as he is a special team expert. The Bengals had a good season last year. Like I said, Jeremy Hill, he had over 1,000 yards. And he was splitting duties. He's going to get more carries this year, and I think he's going to get more production. A.J. Green had over 1,000 yards receiving as well. And if they can stay healthy, the Bengals are going very far. I think Andy Dalton is going to improve on his passing yards. And he had 3,398 passing yards. I think he goes over 4,000 this year. And I also think he improves on his touchdown to interception ratio, where he had 19 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. I think he'll have twice as many touchdowns as interceptions this year and take care of the ball better. He's going to need to, but I think with Jeremy Hill being featured in a more prominent role, that's going to help him out with that. So let's actually go to the schedule and go over every single game in the schedule and let you know how we picked it. And starting off in week one, I actually, week one, September 13th, Sunday at 4:25 kickoff on the road in Oakland. Don't get mad at me, Cincinnati fans. I actually had the Raiders winning this one, but I got the Bengals winning the next 5 and a whole bunch more besides that. So don't stop listening just because I picked the Raiders. I like the Raiders on the road. The Bengals struggle somewhat on the road. They're going to have to improve upon that. I think they will. I like them at home to win every game. But on the road in Oakland, I think the Raiders get this one. Kind of a surprise there, even though Cincinnati might win it. But in week two, the Bengals get in the win column September 20th at home against the Chargers, getting a little bit of revenge against San Diego as they beat them at home. If they could have beaten them in the playoffs, it would have took a lot of pressure off Andy Dalton and Marvin Lewis. But they're going to beat them here, get a little revenge, and it's going to spark a 5-game winning streak, in my opinion. Because in week 3, September 27th, 1 o'clock kickoff. That's a Sunday game. And they're going to Baltimore. They're going to beat the Ravens, in my opinion. I think the Bengals, just top to bottom, are one of the best teams. They're going to run the ball effectively. They're going to put up big numbers through the air. And they're also going to get to the quarterback. They got a good defense. They're going to force turnovers. They got good special teams just all around. The Bengals are one of the top teams, in my opinion. And I definitely think they're going to win their division. But getting ahead of myself a little bit. Week 4, October 4th, 1 o'clock kickoff Sunday. They're going to be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a tough game, but I believe they can beat Kansas City. So they got the defense to stop them. They got the offense, and I think they can beat the Chiefs. It's a tough team. They're very evenly matched, but I believe they can do it. Then October 11th, Week 5, another Sunday game, 1 o'clock kickoff. They're going against the Seahawks. That's a game of the week right there. These are some games to watch, especially it starts off tough for the Bengals in this season. But they win these games, it's going to go a long way towards them winning the AFC North, and I believe that they can beat the Seattle Seahawks, the defending NFC champions, in Week 5. And then in Week 6, October 18th, 1 o'clock kickoff on Sunday, they're going to Buffalo, and I believe they'll win this game. They'll be the 5th game in a row, and they'll put them at 5-1 going into their bye week, Week 7. So then coming out of the bye week, Week 8, November 1st, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock on Sunday, they'll be going to Pittsburgh, and I think they're going to lose this game. I think they'll split the season series with Pittsburgh. They'll win in Cincy. Pittsburgh will win in Pittsburgh. Of course, that Week 14 when they host the Steelers. But in Week 8, I think they lose that one in a tight battle. But hey, maybe they win. You never know. It's possible. We'll see. Week 9, November 5th. It's a Thursday night game, a short week, but that's all right. They're going against the Cleveland Browns, and it's at home in Cincinnati. And they swept them last year. They're going to sweep them again this year, and they're going to win the Battle of Ohio in Cincinnati against the Browns. And then Week 10, November 16th, Monday Night Football. So they're going to have a long week to prepare for the Houston Texans, and they will beat the Texans, in my opinion, on Monday night. A tough game, but I believe that they can beat Houston. I believe they can shut down that offense, and I believe that they will be able to score the necessary points to beat the Texans. And it's in Cincinnati. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win every home game this year, as they're one of the toughest teams to beat at home. So they play really strong at home. That's really a key towards winning your division and getting into the playoffs. But Week 11, they're going on the road. November 22nd, it's a 4:05 p.m. Eastern kickoff against the Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be a tough game, and I think the Cardinals beat them. This is one, if it was in Cincinnati, I'd go with the Bengals, but on the road, I think they lose this game. One of only 3 losses that I have picked for them. The last time that they'll lose this season, in my opinion, is I believe they win the next 6. Spoiler alert. But so they're supposed to say spoiler alert first. But Week 12, November 29th, 1 o'clock, another Sunday game, this time back in Cincinnati, hosting the St. Louis Rams, and I believe they get back in the win column. Like I said, that's going to spark a winning streak where they'll win out the rest of their games in the regular season. And that starts in Week 12, and then Week 13, December 6th, 1 o'clock, they're going to Cleveland, and they'll sweep the season series against the Browns, and they'll get the win in Cleveland. Then Week 14, December 13th, 1 o'clock, another Sunday game. They will be hosting the Steelers, and they'll avenge their Week 8 loss and get the win against Pittsburgh in Week 14, splitting the season series against their division rival. And I think that game right there is going to be the difference between the Steelers making the playoffs, and that will kick them out of the playoffs, as the Bengals will secure the division with that game right there, and then it'll end up being the one that eliminates the Steelers, even though there'll still be 3 weeks left. And in Week 15, December 20th, it's a Sunday night game, 8:30 kickoff on NBC, Sunday Night Football. Of course, I don't know who's made this one. You know, it's a rematch of the Super Bowl when the Niners won, so I guess the Bengals get a little revenge for that one. I know you probably don't want me to bring that up, Bengals fans, but hey, you're going to get some revenge on the Niners, 20 years later. But so they're going to be facing the Niners. They'll beat them there in Week 15. Then Week 16, a second straight road game, this time against the Broncos, and this one's on Monday night, so they go from Sunday night to Monday Night Football, get one extra day of preparation, and I believe that they will beat the Broncos. The question, in my opinion, is will Peyton even be the quarterback at that point? Of course, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I hope he sticks around, but hey. Anyway, you can check out my season predictions for what I'm talking about there, and also I'm going to have videos for every team, so you can always check out that team's video. But back to the Bengals, Week 17, January 3rd, the final regular season game, and that one's going to be against their division rivals, the Ravens. It's in Cincinnati, and I believe they will beat the Ravens for the second time this year, sweeping the season series against Baltimore, and they will win this game, and that will put them at 13-3. and so they will be making the playoffs as the number 2 seed and get a first round bye. So I think the Bengals get a first round bye. And the way I have it played out is that the Colts will be the 3rd seed and the Dolphins will be the 5th seed moving on. That those 2 teams would win in the wild card. And then it would end up with the Bengals hosting the Colts and the Bengals beating the Colts in the divisional round. So I think the Bengals finally get a playoff win with Andy Dalton and Marvin Lewis, and they get to the AFC Championship game. But I'm predicting that in the AFC Championship game, they'll have to go to Foxborough to face the Patriots, and the Patriots will end their season there. But it'll be the accomplishment of getting that playoff win. And if anybody could make the Super Bowl over the Patriots, I think it's the Bengals. They're my 2nd pick to make the Super Bowl behind the Patriots. Of course, I'm a little bit biased there. So maybe this is more, a pick that you put a little bit more stock in, actually, because I'm not as biased towards the Bengals to where my belief in them is based on purely the skill that they have, that they are a good team that can make it to the playoffs. They could win the AFC. I think they'll be in the AFC Championship, but officially I'm picking them to lose in the AFC Championship, although I would not be at all surprised to see them even run the gauntlet. So that's what I think. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think about the roster and the changes? And what do you think about the regular season picks? What do you think the Bengals are going to do through the regular season? Do you agree, disagree? Either way, let me know, because I am definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and have a great weekend, and enjoy all the sports.